All right. Ruben, you are blessed among women, like we always
Absolutely.
say.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, and then I'll tell everyone about our topic.
Okay, I'm a security guy. I have about 20 years of experience doing security. I worked with the Nigerian government for a while, but now I'm into security for NGOs.
Okay, awesome. So what we're talking about today, ladies, is women and security. Sometimes those words are not very synonymous, but today we hope to make it a bit clear to most people, at least our viewers. You know how you want to jump down from the car and you leave your bag in the car and quickly go to the ATM, join the queue, just because your bag's a bit too heavy. You know, those are the kind of things we'll be talking about. I know I'm guilty of it, even in the market. You know, I want to drop the bag and then jump in, buy one or two things. So Ruben is going to come and help us with.
So this is the biggest I've been in my life. So I've always been small. And when you're built small, you're considered frail. And that attracts all the wrong kinds of attention. Yeah? So for me, with regard to personal security, it has usually been, my most harrowing experience have been with sexual assault.
Okay.
Yeah? Not outright rape, but people wanting to touch you inappropriately, people wanting to grope. So my default setting is I do my level best not robbers, burglars on one or two occasions, several occasions actually, both here and back home in Benue State, but it never led to a direct confrontation, so it wasn't a harrowing experience.
Okay.
So for me, it's being in the wrong place, or being in the right place with the wrong man who wants to do something stupid. Yeah, so for me, that's it.
Okay, I know size is not an issue for you. You're pretty tall, so do you have, you know, issues with security, or people are like, okay, let's not mess with her, you know?
Well, most of the time people are like, wait, write down, this girl is not to be messed with. But I think it comes from a place of growing up. I don't want to say I grew up in the hood, but I grew up in the hood. You know, I grew up in Brooklyn, and not the nicest part of Brooklyn.
Okay.
So, having different gangs and fights, you can be walking down the street and there's a fight. I've learned to, you know, I've taken boxing classes. My hands are good. You want to swing on me, I might just kind of break your jaw. My friends in the US, most of them are police officers, so I got into the whole obsession with guns. So I've gone to the gun range and I can handle a few guns, like one, clack, clack. I've owned one in the US. So I don't play. Like, you want to play with my life, I will use yours to dribble ball.
Oh, wow.
So I'm very secure. I'm very secure in that.
Yeah.
Thanks to living in the hood.
Okay, okay.
So men don't really try to cross that line, and I'm aggressive as well.
Okay.
So they're like, wait, this one, if I probably touch her, she might slap me and scream, and yes, I will. I will call the whole neighborhood. We'll gather.
So Ruben, are you an advocate for women taking self-defense classes, karate, things like that?
Yeah. It's not just women. Everybody is entitled to do what they need to do to protect themselves. But the thing is, certain crimes pertaining to women more than men, they've mentioned, for instance, about sexual harassment, for instance. Self-defense classes, whatever you need to do, but let the bad guys know, don't mess around with me.
Yeah.
Check next door. That's what counts for me.
I don't know if Dr. Juanita has any thoughts on the issue.
Not really, but something is bothering my mind as we're discussing.
Okay.
What is security? Let's look at that.
Okay. So what is security, Ruben?
For me, I don't want us to get stuck in definition of terms, because what is security for one person, it's not security for another person. But
security is relative.
It's relative to individual, but it's some people will look at it as absence of harm, and the presence of safety.
Okay.
But for me, take care of business, come back home every day.
Yeah.
Because every environment that you find yourself in, even in your home, portrays some kind of threat every day. So if you don't turn off your gas cooker properly, that's a challenge that you have there. If you don't lock your door properly, that's a challenge that you have there. So for me, there are threats inherent in every environment that you find yourself. The
Yeah.
real big deal is how you understand the threats and navigate them in your everyday activity. That's, for me, it's security.
Okay, what are your thoughts on women that leave their kids in the car to go get some things in the market? Even if the child is, maybe you have a 9-year-old, a 10-year-old, like someone that can walk and talk and report or tell you exactly what's happened. What are your thoughts? Should you leave your kids at home or should you take them with you to the markets? Because some parents are in the habits, I see that a lot, of leaving their kids in the car and then going into the markets or supermarket to get things.
Yeah, they'll say, oh, close the doors, don't open it for anybody.
Anyone.
Or they're with a younger nanny, not even, somebody old and mature. They're usually with, like, a young teenager nanny. They say, oh, stay in the car, wind the window down small, lock the doors.
It's not a good one.
Wherever you leave your kids, whether they're at home by themselves or in the car by themselves, there's a problem. They're
Yes.
kids, for crying out loud.
Yes.
So for me, it's understanding that kids will be kids. They will do the things they want to do wherever you keep them, experiment, exercise their curiosity and all of that. What is important is understanding that regardless of wherever they are, at home or in the car, there's going to be a problem, and making sure you respond to that threat that might exist. So kids, because they're kids, shouldn't be left unsupervised by adults at any point in time.
I feel it's like one of those, wherever you are, there's a likely threat.
Absolutely.
As long as there's human beings, electrical, there's a likely threat. It is you dotting your I's, crossing your T's, and making sure that you cross out whatever might happen that you can solve. So leaving your kids in the car with a nanny and winding down the windows, you don't know, somebody might want to steal the car and not steal your kid.
Yeah.
They'll they'll harm your kid to get to the car. They'll break the windows. You put your child in harm's way. It would have been a better idea for you to hold their hand and walk. Yes, they'll be screaming, "Mommy, I want this. Mommy, I'm tired." Walk in the market.
Walk them
with
through the market.
If you can't,
I have twins.
If you carry,
I have 4-year-old
if you brought them
twins,
along
and I
with
can
you,
tell you for free, I won't take them through the
No,
market.
that's
where
crossing that T. But you leaving them in the car is a gateway to so many things. So many. What happens if there's an accident and then it's right next to your car? If something happens to your child, you're like, if I had known, I would have just gone into this market with this child. Though. That, had I known, should I have known, would I have known?
coulda, woulda, shoulda.
You know, I really appreciate the angle you took this from, both of you. You know, you said something about doing the basics you need to do as a person at all to protect yourself. Make it that much more difficult. You see?
Yes.
Some people
Why do we have burglary
bad.
proof in our house?
Some people are bad, naturally bad. We have, the state says if you do this and this is what we will do to you.
Yeah.
They will still go ahead and be bad.
Yeah.
Morality says your natural conscience inside you already tells you what is right and wrong. Upbringing, the society. So, but there are some people who against everything opt to be bad. They are there. There's no point trying to redesign the wheel or anything. These people exist.
Yeah.
So I feel that women, I know there's this whole school of thought that talks about victim shaming and all. It's not about victim shaming.
Okay.
If you go to, let's say you go for a night party somewhere, for God's sake, what's the ratio of the people there that you know and trust?
And trust.
Why would you allow yourself to get drunk to a point where you pass out? Right there and then you are at your most vulnerable. Let's even forget
who are the people
being
around you? What are your
assaulted.
relationships
What
with
if you
them?
get kidnapped? What if you are robbed? You are in a strange environment. You owe it a duty to yourself to be as alert as possible.
Very sensitive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why would you, okay, maybe just you and your girlfriend, you've gone, you know, to a bar somewhere. You take a sip of your drink.
You leave it, you walk
You
away.
go to the ladies to touch up your makeup. You wind up after you take a call. You spend like 30 to 45 minutes there, and you come back and you continue with that drink. Finish it and go do your stuff. Or when you come back, order another
Order
drink.
something else.
Some
It's
people
that
don't think
simple.
that far, though, Divan.
Do some basic, you know,
Yeah.
just be alert.
Yeah.
Be alert.
I don't-
There's always somebody out there who just doesn't like the way your nose sits on your face. And some of them are your friends.
Yes.
Some of them share blood with you. They will use
Look
any
for an
opportunity
opportunity.
Yeah.
to harm you.
Yeah.
So why not take the basic steps to protect yourself?
Okay.
The person who is determined to rob you, for instance, might break through the wall and enter your house.
You don't know what that
But
person is a dire need of.
Yeah, but
and you're his target.
The story is worse told when we hear that, oh, the front door was unlocked. And all the doors in the house were unlocked, at 12 p.m. when everybody was asleep. So you didn't even put any barriers between you and this person. You made it effortless for them. They should, you know, just stroll in and have a good time and everything.
I also
I think we owe ourselves a duty to take some basic steps, especially as women. As take some basic steps. Just do some basic things to protect yourself. You know.
I also want to say something on that aspect. Knowing the environment and the society we are, before you do anything, you consider a lot. Going to market with your children, knowing the environment, kidnappers are there, robbers are there, accidents can happen. Should even speak to you as a woman who understand the pains you went through in giving birth. That when you lose your child, that means the pains you went through is just in vain. Mother who is on the car with them. For instance, let's
close it when you leave. He doesn't know what security measures to take if harm comes. When that bad person comes knocking at that gate.
Yeah.
We don't train our kids on if there's a fire, stop, drop, and roll. We don't train them, you're one in a million. You're one in a million.
Yeah, I've told my kids that any number of times.
When there's a fire, stop, drop, and roll. When you enter the door, lock your door, double lock it, remove your key, put it somewhere where you can easily access it.
Yeah.
No, don't throw it in your bag. Put it somewhere you can easily access it.
Yeah.
If you're at home, your parents are not at home, you're with your nanny, whatever, don't open the door. Allow a grown-up to look into the peephole, make sure you...
Okay, first of all, there's no shortage of people who are bearing nonsense in mind. That's something to always remember. Every day, from your doorstep to everywhere you go to, there are people who are bearing nonsense in mind. And having said that, it is important that you take responsibility for your personal security. You cannot delegate personal security. That's something you can't delegate. So if you have responsibility to take care of your kids, you can't also delegate that responsibility. That's when things go wrong. Because of the personal responsibility you have to take care of yourself, before you get out of the door, you better start with a plan of what if I run into armed robbers, what am I going to do? If I run into a mob, what am I going to do and all that?
Yeah.
You start to process that in your mind. It kind of prepares you somehow when you find yourself in the X eventually.
Okay.
But something that is important is that no property is more valuable than
Than your
life
life.
itself. That's primary. So the idea of running after a thief who's got your whatever, for me, doesn't make any sense.
When people do it.
And I understand people do it, but it's not the smart thing to do. At some point in life, you didn't have that property. At this point, when you're being attacked or robbed, you can really, really do without that property. What you need is your life, because this is where it gets interesting. If you get to serve and they kill you, you're still going to lose that property anyway. So the smart thing to do is to
Just let them have it.
let them have
it.
The biggest thing you want to do when you find yourself in that situation is to create distance between you and the armed robber. Part of the smart thing to do is to actually throw that in another direction. Oh, you want that? That's what they need. That's their attraction.
Oh yeah, go and run.
So throw that in another direction. Let them go.
Running
pick whatever is
Live
in the
your
bag
life.
and all that, and then that gives you an opportunity to escape from the other side.
Okay.
But something to keep in mind too is that every day as you step out of the house, there is, consider this in your mind, there's a 50% chance that whatever you have on you, from a phone to a bag to whatever, you will lose. So, with that 50% chance, with a car, for instance, you're doing insurance.
Yeah.
You're doing tracking. So they take it, you wish them good luck, it's somebody else's responsibility.
Okay.
With your phone, for instance, nobody's really after the phone. We are worried about our
contacts
on the phone.
information and all
There are
that.
ways to back those up these days.
These days, you don't lose
You
contact
understand?
that
So
much.
the smart thing to do is to get in front of this whole situation. But here's where the challenge is, especially with women. Women are very easily trusting.
Yeah. Tell me
Easily
about it.
trusting.
Yeah.
That usually all the people who are going to mess up with you are people that
you know, trust.
The bad guy an edge because he's looking for your vulnerability. This is how he plays. He's not necessarily about male or female gender. He's looking for who is giving me the least resistance and where can I get the maximum amount of success in robbing what I do.
Okay.
So the smile, the dropping of the guard, the trusting puts him in that position and he strikes.
Okay. I don't know if you're following some of the stories we find on social media about women using taxi services and getting attacked. Are there any tips you can give us for, you know, women, especially in the evenings, you know, those of us that go out, nightclubs and stuff?
I have a list of them.
Yeah, I know. You have a list of things?
Oh, I have a list of
my hairdresser, the last time I went to see her,
Yeah.
she had 2 black eyes, a swollen D, and I was like, okay. I didn't have my glasses on, so I was like, is it your makeup sitting wrong? You know, and she saw me, and she was like, yeah, I got beat up in a taxi. I said, what happened?
What?
The one chance thing, yeah, you know, everybody in the taxi was in cahoots, and she didn't
And she
know.
was the outsider?
Yeah, and she was the outsider, and she hopped in. And I mean, for God's sake, just looking at her, you know she's just one struggling person. She's not rich or anything. And, well, they really wanted her purse. And she fought tooth and nail for it, and she got beat about the head. They beat her, they tore her clothes.
Wow.
I mean, like, I was seeing this girl like 4 or 5 days after the incident, and her face was still swollen. She said they beat her only around the head, you know, and that was the last thing she had on her, so she wasn't about to give it to anybody. So she really, and I don't know, they did nonsense to her and threw her out of a moving vehicle in Abuja.
So this is my take. You said something about she's a struggling person. The challenge we have today as normal human being is that we go out to the street with our normal mindset. The street is not normal. So you can't
You have to go
succeed
with
out
your
in the street
dog
with that normal mindset. So this is my take. You get to go beyond your normal mindset, get to the thief mindset, and get beyond the thief mindset to be able to get at the thief.
So essentially, you have to be suspicious at all times.
Absolutely.
Everybody is a thief.
Absolutely.
And I hate that. I
You're
hate
guilty
that.
until proven innocent.
No, but the fact that
Everybody's a
should I look
suspect
at
until-
everyone as a suspect? Should I always watch and
You know, that it's a mindset I don't like.
It's a
I don't
dog
like
eat
coming
dog
to
world.
everything
So
with
it's either you're eating
suspicion.
the dog or the dog is eating you.
So-
So you
so-
might as well keep your antennas up.
So this is where it gets interesting. Your mindset is not important in the economics of robbery and all of that. It doesn't matter. So you think the car is not worth anything. That's what you think. The robber is not looking for a Porsche. He just needs some money to go to the club this night, to get high on whatever drugs he needs and all that. His expectations are not that high anyway. So regardless of the value of the property, you are meeting his expectation. That's one thing. The second thing is you get to get out of that mindset that you have, that everything is normal, everything is okay. So the way to go about it is trust, but verify. So I'm going to...
Trust, but verify.
Trust, but verify.
But verify.
Okay, that
Like,
the person
you know-
has to earn my trust.
Absolutely.
When they earn it, they have to keep earning. There's no earn it and then you lay back.
Yeah.
No.
Yep. to that bag, and they were still continuing to hit her at her face, is because she had some hope, if you don't want to put it as trust, that they were going to let her go for whatever reason. But see where the focus is. Every woman is more interested in how they feel.
There was nothing there for me to hold.
Okay.
And how can I can't open this thing without this. Okay, you people should stop so that, and the minute I stopped, the person in front closed the door. Madam, the thing too tight. You know, so I'm like, give me my laptop back, give me. And they handed it over to me and they zoomed off.
Wow.
And because it still had the same heft and everything, I was like, cool. I took a bike, got to the motor park, boarded another vehicle, and was already way on my way to Lafayette. I had the entire, you know. So I decided to make a call. I opened
and it
the
was
laptop
gone.
bag. And
Disappeared. Magic.
there were footmarks in it.
Wow.
I was like, oh, I probably switched my bag with somebody else. That's how naive I was. Then I looked through again and my wallet was also gone. I was like, okay. None of the other people in that car looked like people that would have any business with a laptop. Face it, sweetheart. They replaced your laptop with footmarks.
Wow.
And that was how I had a very, very difficult time explaining myself to my boss.
Wow. We'll take a quick break, guys. When we get back, we'll be talking about minding your business when you see a woman in distress, and also the kinds of things that we post on social media.
Yeah.
This is Conversations here on NTA. We'll be right back after this.
When there's a child out there that's not getting the same that your own child is getting, the difference will tell, and there will come a time in the society where that child is going to take its pound of flesh.
Where you can actually, everything from watching a program with the child, you can start up the conversation from something on the TV and say, oh, you know.
For me, it's like, hurry up with this business. And the other one said, Auntie, it's not about me, it's about the guys. They're not ready to marry.
Yes.
If she wants to ask something, no, I know my mother very well. In fact, the most interesting one is when I put up pictures on WhatsApp, you know, Snapchat filters and all that, she will call me, remove that picture. There was a day I got tired of all that and I said,
Women and security, that's our topic today in the conversation room. It's a full house with Devan, Dr. Juanita, Z, and Ruben. Let's talk about minding your business, especially when you see a woman being harassed or even being assaulted. Some of us, we are our own worst enemies. We walk away, or in this new age of social media, bring out the phone and start to record so we can send it out.
Well, before we even went on break, I think you asked the question of, like, what are the signs that we should look for, or how do we get ourselves out of being in a situation, like a security situation? I was like, oh, I have a list.
Yes.
Which you need. Find out, got in contact with him, so they're investigating the case. Like I said, I have a list. I feel of the driver with your phone, you make sure he sees you with that phone, like you're taking a picture of his car and his plate. So anything he wants to do in his mind is like, this girl has probably sent this picture to somebody.
You do that every single time you take a taxi.
If I recall hearing you well, the lady was not herself. You said she was high or something,
drunk.
right? This is what I say about allowing yourself to be stupidly vulnerable. You understand?
Yeah.
That's one. You stand in front of the taxi, you take a picture, even if you're not sending it, pretend like you're sending it to somebody. When you get into the car, you get on your phone and even if you're not talking to somebody, pretend like you're oh, I'm in this Taxify, the driver, Uche. Yeah, Uche is taking me so and so place. The car fine, red car like this. You have given his name, you've given description of the car. It's Taxify, it's Uber, it's regular green and blue tax. To him, you've given out information. So he's like, wait, I can't try this. Even if you go to like,
Eva, what is it?
No, the whole point, see, I'm sorry.
You have to put fear.
These are the kinds of things I say, and then at the end, oh, Devan hates men. I don't hate men. I have brothers. I'm married. I love men and everything. But what is it about men that turns them into predators like this?
Okay,
So
this is where
harrowing. It's annoying.
This is where it gets
taking advantage of.
You shouldn't be sexually assaulted in a taxi.
This is where it gets interesting
taking advantage
for me,
of.
that over time we have built some self-defense mechanism that, with all due respect, I have issues with. Take the picture of the taxifier, tell your relative that is XYZ that is speaking you and all that. Once you get violated, for instance, you don't go back. Even if this investigation puts that guy in jail, it doesn't take you back to status quo where you started from.
So the whole point is to try to prevent the thing from happening.
For me, if you plan and prepare properly, you know you're going to a party, you're going to be wasted and all of that. The reasonable thing to do is to have a regular taxi guy, a brother, a friend, or somebody that you know come pick you up. That, for me, seemed like the
I was getting there. If you know you're one of those people that get drunk.
Women are not even security conscious.
So it's that preparation.
Get a friend to pick you up.
Things for granted.
You don't even get a friend to pick you up. If you know you're going to a party and you're going to get drunk, go with a friend that you know. Like, my friends know I'm the designated driver.
Drunk?
I don't drink.
Okay.
So when they want to go to parties, they call, see how far now, there's this party, let's go. Because they know my too clear eye.
Good.
I see everything, I hear everything. If I see one, okay, what's up? How far? What do you... I am... like, I don't play that. So get that friend that you know doesn't drink. Or if you have a friend that you know her drinking, she can tolerate alcohol, she doesn't really get intoxicated. Don't ever move by yourself when you are going to get intoxicated. Move in a bunch, in a party, in association, something.
I have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dr. Juanita.
All right. So if
put it security measures to him, even if he wants to spray something that will make you black out, he will still remember that this girl has taken a picture of this car.
Two quick issues for me is, number one, the guys who are involved in crime today are very sophisticated.
Yeah.
They are not
very
the
smart.
normal thieves that we knew 5-10 years ago.
Sure.
They are sophisticated, they are IT savvy, the whole hog, they know all that stuff. That's something to keep in mind. So today, we are competing against very intelligent mind. I mean, you read the papers. Imagine a guy who buys a 28 million naira Porsche without spending any money by sending fake credit alert to the car dealer.
Yes, it happened in Lagos.
So that
it was all over Twitter.
That is,
I missed that.
That's the level of sophistication that you have with crime. Number two, there is no security in the mix of unnecessary danger. So that brings me to getting to the party at night and getting drunk. What is happening is that the night time provides ample opportunity for too many things to get wrong. That you are drunk raises that level of opportunity again. So for me, you can't come back and complain when in the first place you kind of created the opportunity. So that's something you need to look at, because the challenge with going through some of these incidents is that sometimes you never recover from what you go through. Trauma, your violation of your person and all that. So for me, get in front of it. Bad guys exist.
it all
Good
goes back to that dodgy eye across
good
your
guys
face.
need to stop doing stupid things.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, shine your eye wherever you're going, because this is what these guys are doing. They are targeting you. They are
And they're on
looking for
social media, like
Yeah, I was
They're on
just
social
Yeah, I'm
about to
talking
say,
about social media.
updating.
Every now and then I'm like, I see this update. Yeah, I'm on my way to Boko now.
And then they'll
I've
just
got
verify
They can
yeah,
use it.
verify.
They can use it
yeah,
to
they
track
tag
you.
your location.
geotagging, yeah.
Yes.
What's the problem? Why are you giving me
Details.
10-minute updates of where you're going to? And sometimes I make a quick joke. I'm like, okay, great. Now your enemies know where to find you. You know, I'm trying to give
Make
you
you like
awareness that this is not very wise.
But we do get carried away with Snapchat and everything.
that's
Oh,
very
live,
true.
hey, this is exactly what's happened. This
Yes.
exactly. What I do personally, I only geotag after I've left the place. So you really don't know where I am. I'm not there anymore. That's what I do. That's my own personal way of being safe.
if you see me talking about Lagos, that was 2 weeks ago. Exactly.
See, on
Nobody
my social media,
knows where I live.
let me tell you
If
people.
you know
Are you
where I live,
live?
it means you know me in
Me,
person.
Z,
You don't know me because of
me.
Facebook.
My pictures, people were like, oh, Z, you're in charge. These are pictures that I took 3 years ago that I'm posting now. I take, if you see, I post, like, if you see a new picture of it's not new. It's probably I took it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's not, I took it today, I'm posting it. And you will never, never catch me geotagging.
You're one of.
And there's this thing about selfies that just make you look ras.
So, should I show you myself? My selfie game is strong. But see, if I do a selfie here, you will never.
Professional
Huh?
makeup.
No, I'm not professionally made up. I am Z made up.
and not be with security.
Yeah.
So I
was
think
caught in
what
a
we're
type of
trying to tell
situation
the
like
women, please reduce it. Because one, we are not too strong like the men.
Physically.
Physically, we are not strong
physically.
like them.
Yeah.
So we don't do what they do. So we have to have that security thing inside of us. What if this thing I'm doing result to this? How can I defend myself? So it's not a good thing to expose your bedroom, your toilet, everything on Facebook. Because we have evil people that on Facebook looking for who to get.
Yes.
So please, as you are listening to us, reduce it drastically. It will really help you. You save your life, save your children, save your husband, save your loved ones from shedding
You
tears.
sleep
Yeah.
with peace. Like I said, I was caught up in a situation with friends. Everybody knows. And oh my God, because we were all together taking pictures, they now got the picture from her page because she was more open.
Open, yeah.
I wasn't posting the group picture. No, she posted and story came up. And she was tagging here, doing that, and the story came up. And everybody went like, everybody that knew us started to call, and we're not in the country. Everybody started to call, this is what's happening. And I'm like, but luckily what happened was I wasn't in the picture because I know the kind of person that she is. So I try to avoid when she's taking pictures. I'm like ducking and weaving.
Yeah.
So when she posted the picture, it was everybody, and I was on the side, but I did not make it inside that picture.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, how come Z is not? And like, I said, excuse me, I'm in my house. I ain't with them.
So for me, with social media, think about it this way. As soon as you press send, you have lost control.
Yes. You don't know where it's going
As
and
soon
who
as you
is
press
seeing
send,
it.
it doesn't matter if you deliver it, it's out there. It's called World Wide Web. It's a web. It's a web for
Instagram.
a reason.
You tag somebody, it goes like, you can, just one person
Yeah.
Yep.
will tag like 5 people. From that 5 people, you can find another 10 people from that.
Of course.
Anything you're looking for, you have to be like, calm down.
Whatever happened
Tone
to,
it.
respect for people's privacy, you
Nobody
just,
has that
You know,
anymore.
for instance, when I took that picture and then put it online, when I haven't even asked if it's okay to put it online, a lot of people don't do that anymore.
don't.
Is it okay to post a picture? A lot of people don't do that. You just fire.
I'm more active on Twitter now than Facebook.
Okay.
It's funnier.
I know.
And there's this lady who has been begging a certain blogger since yesterday to take down pictures of her children. And I asked her, I said, how did this blogger get
the
pictures of
picture.
her children?
Absolutely.
And she didn't answer.
That's the right question.
You see,
She
once
put it up.
once you put your picture in any social media platform, you've lost control of it. You
Even
can't,
if
you
it's
can't
30
even do
seconds, it's
anything
there
with
for-
it, because even in advanced democracies like America and all, you have what they call catfish, where they use somebody's entire identity to do a lot of terrible things. You
Right
don't
here in
get
Nigeria,
about
they
in
do it.
relationships and
Right
everything.
in this
And
Nigeria.
there are no laws protecting you against that. So
Yeah.
even if you sue, there's very little
Yeah.
that you're going to get from court.
That's a form of
Especially if you
identity
didn't-
theft, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it's
Catfishing.
identity theft.
Okay.
And especially if you didn't come to harm.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, you made it public property. So what are we going to do now? You gave it out. And you know, in the early days of social media was when I knew how dangerous this could be. I put up a really nice picture of myself on Facebook.
Yes.
And somebody called me so excited. Oh, I loved that your picture. It's so nice. I'm using it as my screensaver.
No way.
And I was like, whoa. Now, this person could tell people, oh, she's my girlfriend.
Yes.
Why would they
Yeah. Why would they think otherwise?
would
Why would they
think
think otherwise?
Yeah.
My picture is your screensaver.
thing with social media is it doesn't forget.
And it doesn't
It
forgive.
doesn't forgive. That's the way that I see it. So you take a selfie and you are worried, you want to show your face. Each picture that I see as a security guy, I'm not worried about your face. I'm getting a lot of information from the background. Vehicle details there.
Yes,
I'm doing
yes.
an inventory.
Those
posing in
I'm doing
front of
an
that car
inventory
with the
of
number
your
plate.
bedroom, of
It ain't
your
even.
has the focus to mine your data, your information. It's
The
looking
person
for
that's
different
minding
other
your
things.
business for you.
And what you find is that there are a lot of apps today that allows people to actually take off whatever you put to cover that picture and all of that. They can peel off that whole layer of your picture to still show what you're trying to cover and all that. So you find people do a star to cover the plate number and all that. That can be easily erased to still show OES.
Really?
Yeah. There's technology is evolving.
I didn't know that.
Technology is evolving. So if you do not understand the nitty-gritty of it, stay away from it. So selfie even presents some health issues, so that there are certain countries that have designated certain selfie-free locations because people are taking selfies in wrong places from heights and are falling from there and all that.
Wow.
And there are some studies that have shown that taking selfie, people who are obsessed with taking pictures of themselves have health challenges and all that.
Really?
But for me, the deal is be very careful what you put out there, because there are too many people who are bearing nonsense in mind who can use this information.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Ruben, maybe we'll just take one more piece of advice from you, because we're out of town. We're out of time.
Helping ourselves.
Yeah.
Nobody talked about that.
So she did talk about women coming to women's help and all of that.
Okay,
the deal for me these days is if you shout help, you are most likely not to get the help. But if you exactly say what your situation is, like somebody is trying to rape me, then somebody who wants to come to your help already figures out what situation you are in and decide whether they can come to take care of you or not.
Scream thief. Everybody's like,
scream thief to say exactly the situation you are in, not help. Help doesn't mean nothing. Help from what?
Somebody might be screaming out, well, I want you to give me money, and they're like, what?
Say exactly what your situation is, and then I will make up my mind whether, okay, I can get involved in that. But when you say help, you're not saying anything really. So for me, the deal is to understand that every place has inherent security threats. Criminals are getting better at their job because, for instance, it's their full-time job. You're busy doing other things. That's what they are dedicated to doing, and they're doing it well, I might add. It's important that you prepare. Personal security, take responsibility for your personal security. Obey your instincts. Every time something wrong happened to you, you had some premonition, but you were very much in a hurry with a taxi thing. You were too busy getting to your destination. Even your instinct, what it told you, you ignored it. Obey your instinct all of the time. But at the end of the day, for me, property or whatever you have or you're trying to protect, nothing is more important than life itself. Once you are alive, the rest of it can follow. But do not delegate your personal security. Nobody can protect you better than you.
Okay, with those few last words from Ruben, we've come to the end of Conversations. Women and security. What are your thoughts on the issue? Our social media handles are available on the screen. We would love to hear from you. So it's Nike and everyone else.
Devan, see you next time.
Dr. Juanita.
Z, stay safe.